the MeteoMark Weather Show. Let's get into some viewer sent in photos here. Derek Rentschler from Lebanon County, Pennsylvania. He captured the essence of spring here on April 13th. Basically, this was before the big cold air outbreak across much of the east. But temperatures on that Sunday soared well into the mid to high 70s, with some areas cracking 80 degrees. And it looks like Derek was able to capture some nice blooming springtime flowers here. So thank you, Derek, for capturing this moment. However, it does seem like a fading memory, and so does these photos from Joe Drehos in upstate New York, Johnson City, New York, along the upper branch of the Susquehanna River Basin. You can see here some very nice Susquehanna River pictures, photos from April 13th and 14th, the two warmest days we've had this year in upstate New York, Susquehanna River Basin area. Temperatures soared into the mid to high 70s. One of the days we cracked 80 degrees. So very nice. Susquehanna River. It's a little high, but nothing unusual for this time of year on that Sunday and Monday. So very nice. But this is all a fading memory, as today I've snapped some shots here in upstate New York and northeast Pennsylvania. You can see some very heavy snow, wet snow falling, some accumulating on the grassy surfaces as we fell from the mid to high 60s early Tuesday morning to the low to mid 30s on Tuesday afternoon, April 15th. So unfortunately, spring has taken a holiday. Speaking of holiday, we have the Easter holiday outlook. Let's take a look at precipitation amounts. This takes us through the Easter holiday. You notice some problem areas here in Florida, in portions of the Gulf Coast area with the stalled out frontal boundary that I will talk to you about for this weekend. Northeast looking much drier across the lakes as well. Only minor disturbances and a fast zonal flow across the northern plains. But it's here around the edge here in the Pacific Northwest. We'll start to see some more problems as a big system approaches Washington State for your Easter weekend. Let's take a look at those surface maps for the end of the week. Later Thursday into Friday, Good Friday here, you can see fast-moving systems across the northern part of the United States, but we start to get this frontal boundary stalled out across the Gulf Coast states. Particularly Florida could be hard hit by some heavy rainfall and some thunderstorms. So we'll look for that here across the northeast. Fast-moving flow, so we'll keep mostly sprinkles, maybe drizzle, but for the most part it'll be mostly sunny. So that's good news, drying out after that major system that moved through during the middle part of the week. Here across the Pacific Northwest, we're waiting for that big system. Look at here, it moves in Easter weekend, your weekend highlights for Easter. This system starts to plow into the Pacific Northwest, especially for your Easter Sunday, bringing with it a lot of heavy rain and wind. And here across the northern and central plains, we start to see a system try to organize here, bringing some moisture up across the plains. Maybe some thunderstorms, maybe some isolated severe possible, but we're not looking at a major outbreak, at least in this portion of the spectrum. And across much of the Gulf Coast here, you can see a good portion of the Gulf Coast mainly dry on the northern side, but however, the closer you get to Florida, the more problems we encounter with some of those heavy rains. This frontal boundary really is having a hard time pushing even farther south into the Caribbean here. And across the northeast, we'll have those fast-moving systems moving across, keeping the pattern very quick, fast-moving, zonal, but also very little precipitation, which is good news. And it will also moderate the temperatures slightly. Take a look at these temperatures for your Easter weekend, particularly Easter Sunday. We start to moderate things a little bit here, mostly in the 50s, upper 40s. In northern New England, we start to get into the 50s and maybe some 60s here across portions of the mid-Atlantic, and then of course 70s and 80s further south here where they would typically be for this time of year. But we're not seeing any major large-scale temperature differences, which is good news because that means we don't have any major storms to talk about. So if you're traveling this holiday weekend, it looks like, especially from the Mississippi River on eastward, you will be fine. So that's very good news for the most part. However, Florida will have some problems. It may be in the northern plains here with some thunderstorms, maybe developing in the southern periphery of some of these storms. But like I said, these storms are not going to be major to that point. So I'm going to have a 5-day outlook for my hometown viewers in the Susquehanna region of New York, Susquehanna region of Northeast Pennsylvania. Don't forget to like me on Facebook at MeteoMark. Subscribe to me on YouTube at MeteoMark.com. Here's that 5-day outlook from Binghamton to Scranton. Moving from Thursday into Friday here, brilliant sunshine. We really start to warm things up by the weekend, back into the lower to middle 50s, which is a lot better for this time of year. And then we head towards Easter Sunday. We will look at the possibility of maybe a 20 or 30% chance of a shower during the day. However, we're not looking at any major large-scale systems. These will be small systems that move off the eastern Great Lakes, but won't really cause any major problems for your travel or any outdoor activities you may have for Easter Sunday. And we pretty much remain in the 50s with some partly to mostly cloudy skies through the first part of the new work week. That's going to do it here at MeteoMark.